Nick. Frustrating one tonight, I'm sure. Tough playing out of that press tonight. What's your initial kind of thoughts and reactions to that one?
I don't actually think it was tough playing out the press in the first half. I thought we got into the box multiple times, and I think we'll be reviewing this one very similar to other games. Details. You know, we got into the positions that we've got into in the Orlando game, in the Houston game, in the first half of the San Diego game, and didn't execute. And then lost it on two moments, really. You know, mistakes happen, but if we're going to grow into being a really clinical team in executing results, you don't let those mistakes be the difference, right? So, part of the journey, I suppose, is frustrating, and you know, it's a part of the journey that I'm impatient with. But ultimately, we're taking 2 steps forwards and half a step backwards at the moment, and that's something we've got to work through.
On top of that, you're about 1 game away from the World Cup break, that first kind of 11-game slog, 8 on the road. How do things compare to your expectations coming into the season?
Performance-wise, I'm pleased in periods of it. We've shown the potential that this team has. I would rather not have the break, because I would rather work through this with more games, because you can see the small periods of performance that show how good we are. You know, some really positive feedback from their coach at the start of the game, and you know, it's nice to hear that people fear the way that we play. We just don't do it for often enough, and maybe we don't believe in ourselves collectively. But that's all part of the journey. So the team are frustrated, but it's over to us to bounce back, really, and we have one opportunity against Louisville and then a good period to really reflect and evaluate on where we are as a group.
Last one, that sub took a little longer maybe than you would have liked. Was the hope that Josh could continue there?
No, we actually played with 10 players through 3 stoppages, and I said to the 4th official, like we'd already submitted the substitution on the moment she came off. For some reason, the referees allowed Utah to make 2 substitutions. There was also another stoppage, and we played with 10, and that you can see on the side, that's what I was querying. It didn't make any sense, so probably an oversight from the officials didn't help us, but we wanted to make the 3 in one go.
Right, Nick?
Yeah, Coach, resiliency has been such a topic of conversation this season. How do you feel like the team handled those moments of adversity and the moments when resiliency was needed today?
I'm pleased with the mentality of the group, in the sense of we attacked the game for the majority of the game. What I think we need to clean up and improve and evaluate is the difference between how we create big chances and when we just attack with grit. And you know, you can see post the second goal, we had some moments, but I think for us it's about technically executing to the level where we can create those big chances. And the team's mentality, you know, mistakes happen. You know, it's not ideal. But when I ask the team to play and create from our defenders, there's going to be some moments with mistakes. I own them. But I think for us, it's about being consistent with the level of technique and progression that we have in the team. First half, I thought we were good, although we didn't have the last bit. Second half, I think we need to create bigger chances to get back in the game.
When you see a mistake in a critical area on the pitch, like in the 18-yard box, do you feel like that comes down to maybe not quite processing stuff quickly enough and something that you can train their minds to be quicker? Or was it a physical thing, like people weren't in position? How did you sort of take in the mistakes in those areas?
That's the first thing that I said to the staff collectively in the coaches' room there, is these dips in performances, in control of the game, these small areas of focus and concentration, we have to clean up, and we have to figure out really quickly why we're getting them. Because we lost the game today on 2 moments, right? We scored a good goal on the counter-attack, and we had many moments where we can create. I think for us to be, and I've said this to the players, you know, there's certain things as a coaching staff and a support staff that we're going to really, really push. But there is also a responsibility from our group to be their best consistently, and that's my job as the head coach, to make sure that we have a process and a training environment that gets our players to the point where, when we're on top, and thought we were on top for mainly the whole of the first half, that we actually execute and make sure that we control the game and that we don't make those mistakes.
last thing for me, do you have any update on Tosh, how she's doing? It looked like a pretty rough fall for her.
Yeah, she's with the medical team, so in these moments, I don't interfere in these moments. I checked and asked if she was okay. They said they were dealing with Tash, so as soon as we have an update, we'll let you guys know. But for me, it's over to the people that trained, and it's important that she's with the medical team now.
All right, anything else for Nick? All right, that'll do it.
Thank you guys. Thank you.